Hey guys, what's going on? Another video showing you guys, reminding you guys why it's very important to do drop sets, right? And I don't know if you saw my first video. I'm gonna try to put it somewhere here where I talked about drop sets, right? And I explained how after all my research, because you guys know, I'm grateful that I was not blessed with the best bodybuilding genetics because it allowed me to watch my friends grow right in front of me and really pissed me off, like, damn, why they growing so fast, right? And it pushed me because of my competitive nature to try to overtake them, to try to catch up and surpass them. And I figured, guys, you guys know me, I have this stubborn mentality where I refuse to just say genetics, right? I hate that, even if it's the case, which it is most of the time. Bodybuilding is mainly, genetics play a big part, but I have this mentality where I refuse to just say, I have bad genetics, live with it. So this predicament made me study more, research more. That's why I research more than anybody out there. I do research 24/7. Even if I know the answer, I would still do research to make sure that what I'm doing is working, right? Trial and error, trial and error. I don't want to end up doing something for like 10 years just to find out that, it wasn't optimal. And by doing all this research, so my bad genetics, my okay genetics, for bodybuilding pushed me to do research, and research pushed me to learn new things. So now when I'm telling you guys something, it's not just bro science, it's not just whatever, it's from observation, from trial and error, right? The body parts that I did not develop allow me to come here and tell you guys, hey, this is not working because that's what I was doing for this and blah blah blah. And another thing about the research that I do is when the body part of mine actually begins to grow, my old subscribers know me. You guys know how long it takes for my physique to actually grow. So when something on me grows, I found something that works. And when I'm telling you guys to do drop sets, I'm not joking around. In the first video, I explained how uh, I did a lot of research on all the different training methods, and I realized that time on attention was not just like a fad, whatever. It actually played a big part in bodybuilding because I kept looking at people outside of the bodybuilding realm and they developed muscles, without doing bodybuilding parameters, without doing bodybuilding type routines. But why did they build muscle? Not just because there was resistance and frequency, but there was a lot of time on attention. So I got to the conclusion that the more you can increase tension on the muscle, the longer you could train with heavy weights too, the better the results. So I tried doing FST7, I tried doing all the other principles, and the one that worked the most was drop sets, right? Drop sets, drop sets, drop sets. Because really, guys, building muscle is tied to hypoxia. I'm gonna make a separate video about that. Hypoxia is pretty much when you increase the demand of oxygen on the muscle when you exercise a lot without giving the blood enough time to go back to the lungs and the heart, all that shit. You get that lactic acid, you begins to burn, right? Because the oxygen demand is high and the oxygen that's available is not cannot keep up with the demand. So your body accommodates. Make a long story short, protein synthesis, you get bigger. And I found this out also by looking at gorillas. I mean, guys, I study everything under the sun, right? Not just bodybuilding, everything. And I realized drop sets is the best way to keep the weight heavy, to train the fast twitch muscles and the slow twitch muscles. Because you can start off with a heavy weight, you do about 5 reps, drop the weight, go again, maybe 5 to 8 reps, drop the weight. This way you're hitting the fast twitch and the slow twitch, you're getting the pump, you're doing everything all at once. Then I was doing some research and I found out Ben Pakowski was preaching the same thing, but he tried to call it something fancy, Nas sets or something like that, which is really a drop set. And I remember a lot of the bro science guys I used to talk to, I used to watch them train a lot, and they used to always keep the weight moving. And they didn't call it drop sets; they didn't have a name for it. Just kept training. They didn't believe in just doing straight sets. So I'm telling you guys, and recently I get a magazine, a bodybuilding magazine, and I see the studies. I keep all my studies here, right? And yeah, see, I keep all my studies here, and it says here cutting edge research that just discovered that multi-set training does increase the strength and muscle mass faster than just 3 sets of 10. So they had two groups. One group did 3 sets of 10, and one group did a drop set, just a drop set. And the group that did a drop set, one single drop set had more protein synthesis, more increase in strength and mass over a 10-week period than the group who did 3 sets of 10, which is the standard routine. So when I read that, I was like, whoa, bingo. Like I don't just come to a conclusion by just looking at one thing. I want to make sure everybody mentions the exact same thing. And these guys here, also agreeing by doing studies. I like combining bro science and science. You guys know me for that. So when bro science and science agrees on one thing, bam, it works. And I've tried it out, guys. If you're not doing drop sets, do drop sets. You're doing muscle damage. You're doing time on attention. You're getting the pump. You're doing everything that builds muscle all in one set, right? So you don't have to stop doing straight sets, guys. Don't be too extreme. Learn how to find a balance. Do straight sets if you really want to increase your strength or whatever. But if you really want hypertrophy, you really want to maximize that pump, that volume, do drop sets, and I guarantee you're gonna see results. All right, guys, I'm out of here.